Absalom was the son of David, King David, and Absalom had murdered his half-brother Amnon. And David, in punishment to Absalom, exiled him for 2 years from the territory and rejected him from the court. So Absalom became extremely angry, so much so that he wanted to kill his father David. And so we see in the reading today how David is fleeing from Absalom for his life. And notice that he goes to the Garden of Gethsemane, Garden of Olives, the same place where Jesus in his agony suffered before he died on the cross. David is just so hurt and so despondent in heart because of what his son has done. And this guy comes along and starts cursing David. He's from one of Absalom's group. And David allows it to happen because he says, I deserve perhaps from the Lord to be cursed because I'm a sinful man. And so he did not let his soldiers cut off his head as they wanted to do. What we see here happening is that David deserves to make up for the sins he has committed, but in acting in justice, he does not want to fight against his son. Jesus, on the other hand, died for our sins out of love. He did not want to retaliate at all either, but out of love for us, he forgave our sins. We see in the gospel this poor man who was so horribly possessed by a legion of devils and goes back to thank Jesus after he expelled them. And Jesus says to them, go home to your family and tell them what the Lord has done for you and his mercy. We can say the same thing. The Lord in his mercy has forgiven us of our sins. The Lord in his mercy always loves us, and he wants us to proclaim that mercy to others. So when we extend mercy to someone who has hurt us or someone who needs compassion, we're doing what Jesus asked us to do. Go home to your family and tell them of the mercy of God. So we see great lessons here in the Old Testament. God's preparing the people for the coming of the Messiah, and all these things happening to David and so many other of the main characters in the Old Testament is a prefigurement of what Jesus would do. And you and I are blessed because here we are at the altar of the Lord where we stand at the foot of the cross and also at the empty tomb. And we know that the Lord in his mercy has done great things for us and still does in giving us his body and blood in the Holy Eucharist. Let us stand and offer our prayers and petitions.